video, so
Right.
nobody's gonna watch
Well, I'll watch it.
Just gonna whine and complain
If
about.
I can figure out how to do the domain and
Whine and
of
complain
given
about-
points with some x minus something.
Yeah, I don't know. I just sitting here and talk
Here,
about
I'll
World War
send it to
II.
you.
All right, use transformations to do the following. X squared minus 4. Well, what's x squared minus 4? Is the 4 inside the square? No, it's not. So what is that minus 4? That's a vertical what? Vertical shift. Sorry. What in the world is he wrong? All right. X squared minus 4, that's your vertical shift, so that's that. I don't know what all that is. What is that? Okay. I don't know what all that is. Okay. X squared minus 4 is that guy right there. All right. What about this guy? Well, 1/4. What does 1/4? That's A. What does 1/4 do to the parabola? Makes it a satellite dish, like this one. Makes it wider. Or it stretches it horizontally.
So that
Or-
one still goes on 4.
Huh?
That one still goes down to 4.
Yeah, all of them do. Because it's -4 on all of them. Or it compresses vertically. You can say stretch horizontally or compress vertically. However you want to say it.
So we don't have to put that one actually on a number, like the 1/4. We don't have to figure out what it's going to be on the number.
No, you just have to make it wider.
But
What
how
did-
do you type that in?
They asked you options, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to look and see. We'll do another problem and see. 2x squared. What is that 4x squared? What does that do?
It's narrow.
Makes it more narrow. So it compresses on the x-axis and it stretches on the what? Y-axis. So that's why it's thinner. And that's this one right here. So let's do a similar exercise and see what happens.
Because I got a bunch of these wrong because I didn't make it wide enough. Like I made it wide, but I didn't make it wide enough.
Okay.
Cut.
X squared minus 3. So x squared minus 3. Here's a parabola.
It's down to.
And down 3. And then they tell you what to do with it right here. So the vertical stretch is 0 on x squared minus 3. Oh, okay, you got to put 1A. I'm sorry, my bad. And 1 on the horizontal. Now, what's the vertical shift? -3, unless they want you to do anything different. And that's how you do it. Check answer. Okay. Oh, you got to do all 3 of them, or what?
Yeah.
So how do you say this is the answer for the first one? Or
You just have to do all 3 of them. Then, yeah.
click another one right here?
Do the-
Okay, I see. All right, so that one still goes right there. And then we've got a stretch of 1/16. So vertical stretch would be, let's see, this would be a horizontal stretch of 1/16. You might not like that. And vertical shift, or 1/4, I'm sorry, it just wants 1/4. And then a vertical shift of -3. And that should be enter. And there's that one. And then the last one is -3 again. And this one has a horizontal, vertical stretch, or a horizontal, you could say horizontal stretch of 3. And a vertical shift of -3.
Okay, can you explain like all the vertical stretch, horizontal stretch, all that stuff out? Because when I looked at it, I just started posting in numbers and seeing what it was going to do.
I thought I went over that.
Well, just for video going on.
Probably in the video too. What am I doing right here?
You're compressing
That's compression along what axis?
the X,
The x-axis. What am I doing here?
stretching,
Stretching along the what?
X axis,
What am I doing here?
compressing,
On the,
Y,
and what am I doing here?
stretching.
On the y.
Okay. So,
Now, you could say I'm compressing on the x-axis with the yellow one, or you could say you're stretching on the what?
Y.
Either one. You could
So-
do a vertical stretch of 3 and leave this 1, or you could do a horizontal stretch of 3 and leave this 1.
So the top ones are the X axis.
Hmm?
Well, X.
What does vertical mean?
Going up and down.
That's y. So I could put a 3 if I want to do it this way, or leave it 1 and do a horizontal and do that way. I mean, do that way. Horizontal, or that's a stretch, I'm sorry. Vertical stretch, okay, I see what you're asking. Vertical stretch is compression. That's this, or this. Whatever you want to call it. You're making it what? What are you making it?
Narrow.
You're making it narrow. All right, so that's vertical stretch or compression. This is horizontal stretch or what? Vertical compression. So horizontal stretch would be this way or this way. So you can put it right there.
So the vertical stretch is making it narrow, and the
Mhm.
horizontal stretch is making it wide.
Okay? These are not the ones I would give you on a test. I haven't seen one yet. Oh, the first one you sent, where it asked you to define the function, that's what I would give you on the test. These are too time consuming. And they're confusing the way they have this. So I don't like them. Just get through them on the homework and you'll be all right. But you have to work on the homework.
Really?
Yeah, you have to work on it, not just do it like one day. Oh, we got a new question.
I told you I was going to send it to you.
2.3, 65.
I've been working on different ends, so it's
Let the domain of f of x be 1 and 2, and the range be 0 and 6. Find the domain and range of f of x minus 1.
Which number is that? 19.
All right, write it down and try her out. Okay, now this is basically a question of thinking. You could draw it out, but you really can't. What is f of x minus 1? Well, x minus 1 means that you have a horizontal shift of 1 to the what? 1 to the right. So all your domain is going to shift 1 to the right. So what is your domain going to be instead of negative 1 to 2? If it shifts 1 to the right.
1 to
The negative 1 to 2, that's your domain. Negative 1 to 2, that's your domain. If your function shifts 1 to the right, then what's your domain going to do? Shift 1 to the right. So what's negative 1 and 2 shifted to the right? 0 to what? 3. Your range is not going to change because there's no vertical shift. So the domain is 0, comma, 3.
You didn't have it.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally froze it. There you go. Check answer. There you go. The range is the same. 0, 6. Test question? No. But it's a thinking question. You don't even have to draw anything. You just think. Since this is a horizontal shift of 1 to the right, then this shifts 1 to the right, and this shifts 1 to the right. Okay? If it was positive 1, it would shift 1 to the what? Left, and then it would be negative 2 to 1. Okay?
But the parent graph of the x,
What?
like a straight line, so why
Straight line.
Why wouldn't it be?
It would shift to the right, one place.
All real numbers. 'Cause the errors are still going up.
They told you the domain. They give you a domain of negative 1 to 2. That's the domain. There is no other numbers. But if it does a horizontal shift, the domain has to shift with it. That's what they're trying to get you to understand. All right, 2.5, 37/16. All right, let's look at this one. Piecewise function. What is the rule? Give a rule of piecewise defined function. Give the domain and range. All right. What is the rule? I guess they're asking you which one is this. I guess that's what they're asking. All right, we got a cubed function minus 2. Now that minus 2 is not in the radical, so what is that minus 2? This minus 2 right here is a vertical shift. So that could be correct. That could be correct. That's not correct because this is a square function. So you automatically know. Let me get my handy dandy.
When it goes down to,
jigger.
shouldn't the point or the beginning of the line start at 2? Or
Hold
should it
on.
just touch
We're
it?
not. Hold on. I'm trying to get rid of options. Why is this one no good? Because it's a squared function. That would be this right here. All right. So we know that's not it. All right. Now we got a negative 2 here. That means down 2, and a negative 2 here. That means down 2. So here is your function right here going down 2. There it is. There's the turning point. That's the vertex. If you call it a vertex, it
But
would be.
shouldn't the top or the beginning of that line start at 2 instead of just touching 2?
What does your cubic function look like? Look at your calculator. What does it look like?
I mean, it's big line.
And where does it cross?
Through the
Origin. So down 2 would be this. Down 2 from the origin. Okay. Now, cubic function, we know it looks like a squiggle. Looks like a squiggle. So these are your two possible answers there. Now, what numbers are being used for x in the cubic function? From negative infinity up to what? 1. Up to 1. are we using 1? Well, let's look at it. I can't see it because it's got a number there, so we'll blow it up. Okay, are we using 1? Not on the cubic function. So which one is it? It's not this one. So it must be B. And x plus 4 is x greater than, so it does fit. So this is your answer there.
Would you not have to check the second part of that? The x
No,
plus
because you just concluded that these two are not right. This one has to be right. All right, what is the domain of the piecewise function? All real numbers. Because it goes from here, there's an arrow, it goes from here to here, and it stops before you get to 1, but what does this one do? It takes off from 1 and goes to what? Infinity. So your x values are all real numbers, negative infinity, positive infinity. The range, negative infinity to 1, parenthesis, I'm sorry, yeah, negative 1, parenthesis. And then from 5 to what? 5 to infinity. And 5 would get a bracket, negative 1 would get a parenthesis.
Okay, why wouldn't it be B? Because they both like stop on 1, but then it shows that it keeps on going.
Like I said, x goes here, and then it picks up here and goes there. So your x values, negative infinity to positive infinity. Your y values go from negative infinity to negative 1, then it stops and starts at 5 and goes to infinity. So your range, which would be the next question they probably going to ask, is right there. Negative infinity to negative 1, right there. And then 5 to what? To infinity. So that's your answer there. Okay? So what they're telling you to do in these questions is they're telling you to describe the piecewise function. Which one matches? Then what's the domain? What's your x values that can be used? Yes, this one does have an open circle, but this one cancels this one out. So all real numbers are being used for the piecewise function. But if it says for each function, then the domain is negative infinity to 1, parenthesis, and then 1 bracket to infinity. But they're not asking you that. They're saying, given the rule of the piecewise function. So they're asking you as a function, as the whole thing, what is the domain and range?
You stepped on
I know. Okay, next one. (2.535/15). Okay, so let's see what the domain, what the function is here. This looks like an x function. This is an x function, and it's going, looks like 1 to 1. So that would just be x. Y is equal to x. From negative infinity to whatever this is, 1 to 1, negative 1 would be the domain. But x plus 1, that could be possible because this is your horizontal, no, that's a vertical, yeah, sorry. That is a shift to the left, shift to the left. What about this one? No, that's not it. All right, so let's look at 3. Here's 3 right here. Does it touch 3? Does it touch 3? So that one's okay. That one's okay. I mean 1. I'm sorry, 1. It doesn't touch negative 1. But what numbers are greater? Which one shows greater than 1? B. So that's your answer. Greater than negative 1. This one says less than negative 1, and less than negative 1 would be going that way. So that's your answer. Yes, sir.
So negative 1 is, even though it's not parentheses, it's always going to be a horizontal
If it's attached to the X, it will be a horizontal shift. X plus 1, if it had a vertical shift, it would be X plus 1 and then have plus 4 or something like that, and then that would be up. What is the domain of this function? Negative infinity to what? Positive infinity. Because this cancels this one out.
So they have to have an open circle and a closed circle.
Doesn't have to have it. It could have both closed circles. Then it would still be negative infinity to positive infinity.
So then you would have to include negative 1 too. They both have.
Negative infinity to positive infinity includes negative 1.
No, but I'm saying if they both have closed circles, wouldn't you have to sit there and say they both stop there?
Open circle thing would.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about separate or are we talking about the whole thing? So negative infinity to what? Positive infinity, because this one overcomes this one. Now the range is not going to be negative infinity to positive infinity. The range is going to be negative infinity to what? 0, and then 3, because that's it. It doesn't go above 3 or below 3. That's it. So D would be your answer there. Why wouldn't it be this one? Well, this one says negative infinity is 0, and then it just quits. Well, that's only one function. That's just this function, so that's not it.
Why does D have to go on 3? Why does it have to go on 1?
Because it means it's a horizontal line. A horizontal line, you could just put 3. I'm not going to mark it wrong if you just put 3. I mean, that just tells you it's a horizontal line. Negative infinity to 3. Negative infinity to 3. Well, that wouldn't be right because this area right here is not in the range. So that's not right. Negative infinity to 0. Well, that's okay. But what's wrong with this? The infinity's wrong and this bracket's wrong. So you could pretty much knock out some of your possible answers just by deduction. Next one. 2.555/21. No, this one sucks. Yeah, this one is a stupid question. The graph of y is equal to f of x gives the speed limit y. Speed limit y. Here's the speed limit. Along a rural highway after traveling x miles. So the first few miles, your speed limit's up here. The next few miles, it's down here. Then the next few miles, it's down here, and then it goes back. So you must have went through a little what? Town here. Because what happened to the speed limit? Well, you could say this is 50, then this is 40, then this is 30. So this must be the middle of town. And then you get out of town, it goes back up to whatever this is, 50. I'm just saying 50, I don't know what it is. Okay, so I'm trying to get you to understand what the graph means. Oh, it is 50. Okay, the maximum is 50. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that's that answer. Minimum is 40. Okay, so that would be 40 right here. So I was off a little bit. I said that was 35. So that's, if this is, that's, yeah, 45 and 40. Estimate the miles of highway with a speed of 50 miles per hour. So here, right here, I guess, since this scale, X scale is 4, see the X scale? Each one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess, or are they saying each one is 4 miles an hour? I guess 8 miles, yeah, each one is 4. That's 4, 8, 16, what, 24? I don't know, 4 times 16, I'm sorry, 12 and 16. So, how many miles did you go 50 miles an hour here? 4, and how many here? So 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, that's the answer, 8. I think you just multiplied it by 10 because you saw this 10 right here. I think that's probably what you did. And you thought it was 8 times 10. So 8 miles there and 8 miles there. Evaluate f of 4. Now what I tell you to do when you saw these, go back to your what? Pre-algebra chart. What are they asking for here? Are they giving you x, find y? Or are they giving you y, find x? They're giving you x. So you got to find y. So where is x? Here's x, right here is 4. Or is that right? Yeah. X is 4 right there. So what is, yeah, whatever that comes out to be, 45. Should be 45. Yeah, because of the way it looks. F of 8 means x is equal to what? 8. So there's 4, and there's 8. What is it? 50. And y'all feel good about yourself. At what 3 x values is the graph discontinuous? Discontinuous is another word for broken up. At 4, 6, and what? I'm just going to put 3 because I don't want to write all that. And that's how you read that graph. When you see a graph, y'all having a meeting outside or something? When you see a graph and it's a little bit intimidating, just chill and just look at the x and the y and just try to figure it out. Don't sit there and do a hammy and bounce off the walls and say, I'm going to fail the class. Mrs. Hood. She's not talking to me now. I was picking on you. You were too busy texting.
Actually, do you want me to be honest?
Uh-oh, here we go. Okay. I'll remember that next time you asking me a question. I'll start texting while you're asking me a question.
Got it.
And you'll get mad.
Nah.
Yeah, you will. All right.
Laid back person.
All right. 2.5, 55, 21.
That's the same.
Okay. Same one? Okay. We don't have to do that one again. Let's see. I think those are all it. Oh, well, here's another one. Here's one. What's that? That's 2.3. We might have already went over this. 6519. Yeah, but it's different. So let the domain of f of x be negative 3 to 3. And what kind of horizontal shift we got? To the right, 2. So what's negative 3 plus 2? Negative 1. And what's 3 plus 2? And that's it. Range is the same because there's no vertical shift. Okay?
All you do is add the 3 and the 2.
Or subtract, depending on what the horizontal shift is. That's 120. This is 2.3. Number 18. Okay, now these are possible test questions because you just got to pick it. All right? Use the graph of y is equal to f of x right here. This is your parent graph. All right? They're just giving you, this is the function. All right. Y is equal to f of 3 of x plus 2. Well, f of 3 of x, if you was to put 3 of x into it, what is that 3? That means, no, it's greater than 1, so that means what? It's going to be more narrow. Well, which one is it not? Let's go through and let's pick out the ones that it's not. It's not C or D because that would be a fraction. Like 1/4, 1/5, 1/6, 3/4. It's not those, that's wide. Okay, so it's either this one or this one. Well, this one has a vertical shift of what? 2 up. Wait a minute. Why has it got 2 down? No, this is, okay, 2 up. Okay, this is, yeah, 2 up. So it wouldn't be this one, because that one's 2, that's not 2 up, that's 1 up. Here it is, right here. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, that confused me there for a minute. This one is f of x. What would happen if we did a vertical shift of +2 to this function? Where would it be? It would be at 0, 0. Kind of confused me there for a minute. I can see where you could get confused there. All right, so the answer is B there. All right, what would happen? Look at here. Be careful here, because you got 3 outside and 1/3 x. Be careful. And this is the function of f of x.
It'd be the same thing up here, right?
Huh?
It'd be the same graph up here.
Well, think about it. 3f of 1/3 x. What would happen if you did this right here? Well, let's just go through and say which one is not. All right, first of all, this is negative, is this ones? These are ones. That's -2 right there. All right. This is +2. So we need to have 1 at the origin, right? Is there 1? Which one is at the origin? Looks like D. Something's bothering me. If you multiply this, you got to multiply this. That would be 3 times 2, which is 6. I'm thinking. That wouldn't be right. No, it'd be 3 times 1/3, which is 1. But the 3.
Have a new message on Facebook.
I'm thinking out loud. All right, looks like to me, it doesn't look like these are the answers. But I'm trying to figure out this right here. 1/3 of x would mean that it's wide. So it could be that one or that one. But the +2 puts it at the origin.
I thought the only thing that would make it wide would be 3 that's outside.
Read your notes.
I am, they're right in front of me.
That's not it. Well, what does it say about A when A is greater than 1?
It's wide.
No, it doesn't.
Like, no, it's narrow.
There you go. All right, that's not it. I'm a little bit confused here. 3. If we plug 1/3 x, it seems like to me the 3 would cancel with the 1/3 and you would have f of x. Am I not right? And the +2, it seems like it should be at the origin. But there's none that shows it at the origin. They're all at, let's see, this is 2, 4, 6, and 8. This is 2 and 4. And this is 2 and 4. I'll have to research this one. I don't, A. I was right. 3 and 1/3 cancels, so nothing happens to it. I was right there. But this is, oh, I see now, that's 4 too. I pulled a, okay, nothing happens to it. Nothing happens to it because of the 3, but this is, let me blow this up a minute. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah, 4.
Why would it be 4 though?
I have no idea because it looks like the vertical shift, it would be at 0. I'll have to research that one. I'll research it and we'll figure that out. What about this one? 1/3 3 minus x.
Wouldn't it still be the same though, 1/3?
I'm looking for the, where's the next? Oh, continue. Hands getting low.
Wouldn't
I
it
guess I
still be
got
the same?
carpal tunnel.
Wasn't the 1/3 cancel with 3?
Yes, I said that. 1/3 would cancel with 3. That, huh? Well, let's look, okay? The negative 1 is right here. So turn this around. First of all, turn this around. Negative x plus what? Is the x, is the 3 connected to the x? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So that means it's what kind of shift? Horizontal shift of what? Plus 3. Plus 3 means what? 3 to the what? 3 to the left. Which one is 3 to the left? It looks like A. Okay, let's look. 1/3. Oh, negative, would it be negative, would it be negative 1/3 plus 3? Would that not be correct?
I got 1/3 x plus 1.
1/3 x. What'd you do with the negative?
Well, negative x would make it upside down. It's the opposite.
Yeah,
Negative 1/3.
negative 1/3 x plus 1.
So it would flip the graph upside down. Or
Yes. Well then why? Is that not a plus 3? Plus 3 would be 3 to the left.
But it would have to be B or D because they're upside down or they're flipping around.
1/3, that'd be plus 1 minus 1/3 x. Minus 1/3 x. But the plus 3 is what's messing me up. Okay, I'll have to check on this one. All right, I'll have to check on this one before we. I mean, I'm having a problem with these, the way they notate in this. If you was to do these, let me get back with you on those.
So our test is going to be scheduled next week.
No,
But if we don't know how to do them,
then I won't give it to you.
but we still should understand it.
Well,
Then we'll-
I'm not postponing the test. I'm sorry. All right, 18 slash. Oh, this is 2.318.
Same one.
Is it the same one? Okay. Well, let me go back over that one, and we'll go from there. I'm not gonna try to sit here and tell you I know what it's asking, because I don't understand that question. 2.344/10. Okay, that's a good one. This is a good test question. This one is a good one. Use the transformations to find the graph. So tell me about this graph. What's it doing?
3's on the outside, so it's going to be narrow.
Okay.
Well, that don't
The negative 3, what? What does that negative 3 tells us?
right there.
To the right 3. And then what does the negative 2 tell us?
Yeah.
All right, so which one says to the right 3 and down 2? Well, let's go through and deduce. This positive 3 tells us that it's going to look like square root of x looks like this, right? Which one does not look like this? C and B. So they're out. So that leaves this one and this one. Which one is 3 to the right and 2 down? And that's your answer. Okay, that's what I want you to be able to do. I don't know where they're getting some of these other things. I'll have to look at those. I don't know what that last question caught me off guard. Next one, 2.342(8). Graph the following. What's it going to look like?
Y.
What does any absolute value look like? Value, vodka. V. It's going to look like a V. So, and do we have any horizontal or vertical shifts? No. But what does the 2/5 mean? Well, that means it's going to be wide. Wider, here's your parent graph, 1 to 1. Parent graph is 1 to 1 right in there. All right, so it's going to be a little bit wider. So what does the 2/5 mean? Well, what's 2/5 and 1? 1, or 2/5. What's 2/5 times 2? 4/5, which is 1 1/5. So I guess you're probably going to have to graph some points and put it on here. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy and we're going to put the origin right here because 2/5 times 0 is 0. I'm going to pick multiples of 5. Why? The denominator is 5. 2/5. So what's 5 times 2/5? 2. So it looks like that should be it right there. Save. Check answer. I don't think we did this one. That's a good test question. In other words, I'm not going to try to what? I'm not going to try to trick you. Number 5. We did this one, I think. Yeah, we did that one. Did one like it. Six, 2.36. That's a test question. The graph, blah, 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 blah. All right. So we're going to move to the right. Let's blow it up. We're going to move to the right. How many places? 3 and down 4. So that would be -3, negative what? 4. -3, because your vertex is right
So
here.
it'd be x minus 3. And then
Minus 4. Would be in parentheses, x minus 3, parentheses squared, minus 4. That's what it would be. So you'd put a -3 right here and a -4 right there. What did I not do? Oh, it's negative. I'm sorry. It's going down. Sorry, I didn't even look at that. I was looking at the vertex. It's opening downward because it's the opposite. Okay? All right. The main thing, and I think y'all figured it out today, you have to look at the scale. Because you had it right. You just had 1.5 because it was down 1.5. That's why. You wasn't reading the scale. All right.
I told you I was doing all the questions. You just had to cook.
No, I told you we would go over questions before the test. Use transformations. Okay, x is that. X plus 6 would be what? Up here. And it's 1 to
Yeah,
1.
we went over these yesterday. Or
Yeah, I
not
know,
yesterday, but when I was in class, we said they're all normal.
Yep. And the other one is going to be minus what? And it's 1 to 1. I'm trying to get it there. All right? Question. I'm not going to try to trick you. And I'm not going to put something on the test that I didn't cover. I hope I did. If I do, then I'll make amends. Let's look at the difference quotient. And that's what we're going over today. And this is 2.6. This finishes 2.6. So that means that, what's today? Wednesday. That means that Monday will be a review day. And I'll show you the test Monday. All right.
Wait, does that mean we gotta have homework done by Sunday?
All right.
More time.
I'm seriously asking.
What did I tell y'all at the first first
The
week
day
of class.
before.
Ask me questions, I already answered.
At the first of the week, I said, whenever the test goes up, the homework, what?
Is it due that day or the day before?
Terminates right before the test starts.
So it was done by something.
No, if we're going to start the test Tuesday, then I'll start the homework yesterday.
Yesterday,
Yep, I'll stop it yesterday. I'll do that after class.
I know you think I'm being fun, but I'm seriously asking.
Y'all are not listening to me. The first week of class, I told y'all that the homework terminates right before the test starts. So if I start the test at 8 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, then that means that the homework is going to cut off at midnight that night.
Okay, what are you saying?
I told you that.
I was just clarifying.
No, what you were doing, you were hammying. You took what I said 2 or 3 days ago, and you started hammying. You started worrying.
You said you wanted this.
No, I said I wanted y'all to stress out and run into the walls.
that's how I feel right
Okay,
now. But I
good.
I went on.
Now you feel okay because you know the test is not going to be till maybe Tuesday or Wednesday.
I know there was a little bit of good in me.
I'm telling you, I'm in a sarcastic.
Yeah, but if I said anything, y'all, I didn't delay the test. I never did say when the test was going to start. I said it looks like, and I told y'all the first week of class. I will tell you when I post it. I will say, okay, and I'll pull it up and I'll say this is what the test looks like, and I posted it today.
Monday. Monday.
Have I said that?
You did say you were going to post it. You were thinking about posting it on Friday.
What was that? I was what?
You're probably going to post it on Friday.
Okay, Hammy. Thinking about. Now, what is this? This is a difference quotient. Do you know what the difference quotient is? Does anybody know what the difference quotient is? It's calculus. Anybody?
Like the f of x plus h
Mm-hmm.
minus f of x all over h.
What is it? I get that on everybody. Nobody can tell me. Because they'd never make that connection. In calculus, they don't even make the connection. Here it is. I'm going to show y'all something. You don't have to write it down. I just screwed that up. You don't have to write it down, so don't write it down. Okay? Because some of y'all will get all flustered. In calculus, you study a lot of curves. This is your first semester of calculus, all right? And you study, if I have a point right here, and I have a point right here. Then that means I could draw a line between those 2 points. And I'll do that in red. Well, that ain't too good, but I'll change it. And hit that. There. Is that good enough? All right. Now, that is called a secant line. It's called a secant line because it's on the interior of the curve. Now, when you get into first semester calculus, you're going to talk about limits. They can half the step, half the step, half the step, half the step. They can half the previous step. Will you ever reach the wall? No. And if you take mean calculus, we go through that, do that. But limit process is bringing this closer to this. And eventually, I wish I could do this, but I don't think I can. Eventually, the secant line, if I bring this point closer and closer, no, it's not going to let me. If I bring it closer and closer to this point, what does the secant line become?
Same one.
Well, no, it's not the secant line anymore. It is, oh shoot, I turned it, there it is. The secant line turns into, when these points get closer together, this point right here comes down here and it's about right here, right? And we're talking about a pin. A pin. You know, straight pin, half the width of a pin. I mean, really close to that point. The secant line that you had before turns into the what? Tangent line. And that's what you learned in the first semester of calculus. All right, now let's go back to what we were doing. And I'm just showing you this to show you why this is so important. There. And take away the secant. All right, so here we are back in algebra. I want you to find the slope of that line. Well, we all know what slope is. What is slope? M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus what? X sub 1. So here's your first point, because we read from left to right. And I'm gonna color code this a little bit. I'm gonna change this to blue.
Is this one you want us to start writing this in?
I don't want you to write anything. And I'm gonna code this green. Okay, so my blue, I can call that X. And what can I call my green? Y, but we're not rednecks anymore. What do we call Y? Alphabet. Oh, that's what you're doing. Alphabet. All right, you with me? Everybody got that? All right, so what's the second point called? Well, I'm going to call the second point, I'm going to use magenta. And I'm going to use orange. Well, there is a distance right here, right? Some people call it delta. Some people call it H. I don't care because of horizontal distance. We'll use H. Okay? That's H right here. From here to here. So what can I call this part right here? I mean, what's this coordinate right here, this X coordinate? What can I call it in respect to X and H?
What do you still call it?
You call it X, yeah, you would call it X, you're right, but you got to do something else. You can't have two X's the same. You could call it X sub 2 if you wanted to, but that wouldn't work. X plus what? I heard somebody say it.
X plus H.
X plus H. Let me change that. That needs to be a different color. I'm going to change it to brown. No, I'm just going to change it to black. Then this coordinate right here, the magenta coordinate, is X plus what? H. And then what is the orange coordinate?
X plus X plus H.
Good job. I am proud of you.
See, I'm good at math.
You just suck at logistics. All right. Now, I want you to calculate the slope. Go ahead and do it. There's no numbers. Just plug and chug. Do it.
So would
Hurry up. Do it.
f of x be y1?
You're trying to make this complicated. If you want to, just make this, hold on, let me color code it for you. Whatever. Okay, come on, what's wrong? I want you to, there, alright, so black, this is x, comma, what? F of x, that's that coordinate. With me? And what's this one? X plus h, comma, f of x plus h. Alright, now I want y'all to plug and chug and give me the slope. You're not going to get an answer. You're going to get a equation. M is equal to sometimes I look. Try one more time. All right. So here we go. M is equal to, what's my y sub 2? F of x plus h minus what? F of x, which is the green, over, well, don't, you're taking away my thunder. Don't be doing that, all right? What is this? X plus h minus what? Minus, it's hard to do all these colors. Okay, now simplify. M is equal to f of x plus h minus f of x over what? H.
No, when the x plus h just cancel out.
This cancels that out and you left with h. Somebody tell me what this is.
Bro, I thought since the parentheses there.
No question.
Difference.
What's it called?
Difference.
Okay, no, it's called what? Now you know what the difference quotient is. It's the slope. This is f of x plus h. That means you're plugging in x plus h. This is the original function. These are not in common at all.
No, I get that.
Okay,
But I'm
where do
saying x plus h on the bottom, they're in parentheses, so they're married.
Yeah, but what is this? There's nothing there, so it's a 1. Distribute the 1, you get x plus h minus x. The parentheses drop off, and you get x minus x. And this is the difference quotient. In calculus, it's basically a 25-cent word for what? You just got your first day of calculus. That's basically what you learn the first day. Or one of the first days, because you got to learn a limit. Because this dot converges onto this dot, and the secant line becomes the tangent line, and that's very important in physics. All right, so how do you do this? How do you do the calculate thing? Well, here we go. Hold on. All right, look at that problem. It says the expression f of x plus h minus f of x over h is the slope. And x cannot equal 0 because it's a closed function. Find and simplify the difference quotient for this.
You know it works.
All right, so just forget all this. You have a function of that, and you want to do the difference quotient. So do it. You know what f of x plus h means, don't you? What does that mean? That means to plug in x plus h wherever there's a what? Wherever there's an x, Hubert. Yeah, that's right. So what I tell students to do is you got to draw a big set of parentheses in where there's an x. So for this right here, I'll color this blue. For this part right here, we got to do 4 parentheses squared plus 9 parentheses plus 4. That's just the blue part right there. And then minus, put that in black because that's part of the original equation. Minus, put this in brackets because that's just that part. Minus this part. Well, what is f of x? Okay, so I'm going to make this orange. And that's going to be 4x squared plus 9x plus 4.
Wait, wouldn't you put the bracket or parentheses again on the x's?
No, you don't plug in anything. F of x is just f of x. I plug in x. There. Plug in x. What are you supposed to do? Okay, let me. What's f of 3?
Yeah, you plug in.
Listen. What's f of 3? What would f of 3 do? You plug in 3 here, get 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 3 here, be 27. Whatever I got there. 36 plus 27 plus 4. Really? Everybody got that? All right. What's f of x? What would I do with that x? Everywhere there's an x, I'll plug in x. And what would I get? 4x squared plus 9x plus 4. F of star. F of star would be 4 star squared plus 9 star plus 4. F of x plus h, what am I going to plug in? X plus h. So I'll take my blue marker and I put in x plus h and x plus h. And all that is over what? H. Now you got some simplification to do up at the top. You got a lot of algebra to do. Shortcuts. X plus h, quantity squared. That's a shortcut. Plug and shove.
Oh, you want me to talk now?
Yeah, you can talk. This is question time. What's your question? You had a question about plugging in x. You got it now? 3 and x, plug it in. Now, instead of 3 and x, we're going to plug in x plus h. All right, you got some simplification to do. Simplifications to do, whatever. And I'll take the roll because evidently it's getting time for y'all to go because people are packing up before time to go.
I caught that one.
Huh? You did? You were paying attention? You wasn't texting?
Right.
Well, I'm glad you waited not to text at the end of the class.
I don't hold you.
I know.
You just made me happy I came.
I am. I'm blessed.
And if you're not doing anything Saturday, we perform that easily at 3.
I got to go to my daughter's thing. The band's doing their thing. I'm sorry. I don't want to get chastised for not being there.
What's your wife?
Huh?
What?
She's in the color guard or the whatever you call it.
Flag.
Flags, yeah. Oh, no, not email. I got to go to.
Well, if you ever it
I'll
will
throw
blow
stuff
your
at you.
mind. That would be so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Little beer at you.
But it will, it'll blow your mind. People
110.
think our cheerleaders are so ditzy.
No, I don't.
You might be.
All right. I guess everybody's here. No, let's see. Miss Black's here. Miss Bronner's here. Miss Carey. Miss Carey's not here. Miss Lovely, I didn't see her. That gum, everybody laying out today. Mr. Cleveland. Craig.
Here.
Which one's Craig? Okay. I'm trying to learn you. Crenshaw. Fitzsimmons. Frialdi's here. Guffey. Geimer's here. Holly's here. Mickle's here. Richie's here. Ryder's here. Sabaku. I hadn't seen him. Smith. Stolfus. Where are you? There you are. Right? Stolfus. Vaughn Andrews here. Vaughn, the other Vaughn. Huh? She ain't here. Okay. Vining. Okay. And Zug is here. All right, so let's look back at this. I know you got to go, but I want to go ahead and finish it for you. Where did it go? Oh. Where did this? There it is. Sorry. What do you got to do here? What is this? Shortcut number 1. So that'd be 4 times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 9x plus 9h plus 4 minus 4x squared minus 9x minus 4. And then what does this turn out to be? 4x squared plus 8x h plus 4h squared. And what happens to the 4x squared? They cancel. The 8x, let's see, 8xh, is there any of that stays? 4h squared, it should cancel out too. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, and 9x and 9x cancels. So all you're left with is what terms? You're left with h terms. The h terms, 8xh plus 4h squared plus h plus plus 9h over what? H. We'll continue it Monday. Okay? Work on them. Work on them. Whatever. That was fun. Yes, it was when I went, no questions, whatever.
Whatever, I'm not talking in class anymore.
You're not coming to class anymore, okay.
No, I'm not talking in class anymore.
Oh, be quiet.